Echoes in the void. Commander Elena Reyes opened her eyes to darkness. The stasis chamber seal broke with a hiss, cold air rushing into her lungs for the first time in what felt like seconds. Her body knew differently, muscles protesting as she attempted to sit up, slow movements betraying centuries of stillness. Neural systems stabilizing, Commander, came a calm voice from the darkness. Initiating gradual revival protocol. Soft blue lights activated in sequence along the chamber walls, revealing the command deck of the Artemis, Earth's vanguard vessel that had remained hidden in the shadow of a rogue planet for centuries. Status report, Araya. Elena managed, her voice cracking like ancient parchment. It has been 412 standard Earth years since initiation of Operation Starfall, replied the ship's eye. All systems nominal. The fleet remains undetected. Elena steadied herself against the console, memories flooding back. The galactic concordat, the systematic hunting of human colonies, Earth's desperate gambit. A sleeping fleet scattered across unexplored systems, waiting for the signal that humanity had regained enough strength to challenge their oppressors. And Earth? She asked, dreading the answer. Earth survives, Commander. The quantum shield held. The Concordat believes our homeworld was destroyed in the Nova event. They've classified humanity as extinct. The main view screen activated, showing a familiar blue-green sphere wrapped in a shimmering, nearly invisible barrier. Technology that had been experimental when Elena entered stasis. Seeing Earth whole and protected brought unexpected tears to her eyes. The awakening signal, Elena said, wiping her face with the back of her hand. Why now, after 4 centuries? Scattered human enclaves have reached critical development thresholds, Araya replied. Additionally, internal conflict within the Concordat has created strategic vulnerabilities. Earth Command deemed the probability of successful reemergence to be optimal. The medical bay doors opened as Dr. Sanjay Mehta entered the bridge, his dark hair showing a sudden streak of silver. A known side effect of prolonged stasis. He scanned Elena with a handheld device. Your vitals are stabilizing nicely, he said, though I'd recommend taking it slow for the next few hours. No time, Doctor, Elena replied. How many of our ships are responding to the signal? Araya displayed a galactic map. Small points of light began to shine across it, each representing an Earth vessel waking from its long sleep. The Odysseus has awakened in the Tau Ceti system, Araya reported. The Orpheus in Epsilon Eridani. The Phoenix in Procyon. 14 vessels confirmed active so far, more coming online every hour. Elena felt a surge of hope. Each ship carried the best of Earth. Soldiers, scientists, diplomats, each had slept, waiting for this moment. Navigation Officer Chen and Tactical Officer Alvarez are reviving now, Araya reported. Good, Elena said. We need to establish contact with the scattered colonies. Find out what we're facing. Within hours, the command deck had come to life. Lieutenant Sofia Alvarez, the Artemis's tactical officer, monitored the awakening fleet, while Lieutenant Commander Kai Chen plotted coordinates for their first rendezvous. I'm detecting encoded transmissions on old Earth frequencies, reported communications specialist Maya Okafor, her hands dancing across her console. The scattered colonies are using variations of our emergency protocols. They remembered, Commander. After all this time, they remembered. A message appeared on the main screen. Coordinates for a gathering point, and a single phrase in an old Earth language. The children await the return of the Guardians. It's a colony in the Bernard star system, Chen said. Established before the war, they must have gone dark to avoid detection. Plot a course, Lieutenant, Elena ordered. Let's introduce ourselves to our distant cousins. The Artemis's engines hummed to life. Systems that had been dormant for centuries now functioning perfectly. Elena felt the slight vibration through the deck plates as the ship moved out from behind the rogue planet that had concealed it for so long. As they prepared to jump to faster-than-light speed, Elena stared at the image of Earth one last time. Her home, preserved but isolated, while the rest of the galaxy moved on without it. "The Concordat believes they destroyed us," she said quietly. "They're about to learn how wrong they were." The Artemis vanished in a flash of light. The settlement on Bernard's star II was nothing like Alina had expected. Humans had survived here, adapting to the harsh environment over generations. They called themselves the Keepers of the Flame. Asha Mori, leader of the settlement, regarded the Earth delegation with a mixture of awe and suspicion. Her people had lived for generations in simple habitats built from local stone and salvaged metal, hidden beneath the planet's surface to avoid detection by Concordat patrols. "Our ancestors spoke of Earth," Asha said, studying Alina's uniform. "But as legend, not history. Why should we believe you now?" "Because we bring more than words," Alina replied, nodding to Dr. Mehta. The doctor activated a small projector that displayed Earth, blue and green and beautiful as it currently existed under the quantum shield's protection. "Impossible," Asha whispered, reaching toward the hologram. "Our histories say Earth was destroyed in fire." "The Concordat was meant to believe that," Alina explained. "It was the only way to ensure humanity's survival across the stars." Across the room, a young man named Elias studied the Earth visitors with intense curiosity. "The navigation charts in our oldest records," he said. "They're not star maps at all, are they? They're coordinates leading back to Earth." Dr. Mehta smiled at the young man's insight. "Yes, your ancestors preserved what was most important, hoping someday we would return." The reunion was one of many happening across dozens of star systems as Earth's sleeping fleet awakened. Yet not all encounters were peaceful. In the Tav Ceti system, the Odysseus found only ruins where a human colony should have been. The Concordat had discovered and eliminated them decades ago. Meanwhile, aboard the Concordat science vessel Empirical Mandate, researcher Vexela examined unusual energy signatures that defy classification. Something ancient was awakening across the galaxy, something the historical records claimed had been eradicated long ago. The gathering hall of the Keepers of the Flame was carved deep into the planet's bedrock. Luminescent fungi cultivated on the walls provided soft, ambient light. Alina studied the people around her. They were taller than Earth humans, with denser bone structure and slightly larger eyes, adaptations to their world's higher gravity and dimmer sunlight. Despite these differences, they were undeniably human. "Our ancestors arrived here 15 generations ago," Asha explained. "They were refugees fleeing the war. They believed Earth was lost forever." "They were right to flee," Alina said. "But Earth survived, hidden by technology even the Concordat couldn't detect." The elders of the settlement whispered among themselves. One older woman stood up, leaning on a staff inlaid with luminescent crystals. "I am Sarah, Keeper of Records," she announced. "Since childhood, I have memorized the legacy data of our people. If what you say is true, prove it by reciting the Covenant Code." Elena looked to Dr. Mehta in confusion. Elias stepped forward. "The Covenant Code contains encrypted instructions for contacting Earth, should it still exist. If these visitors are truly from Earth, they should know it." Dr. Mehta accessed the ship's database through his portable device. "I believe I can help with this. Our records contain all emergency protocols from pre-shield Earth." He displayed a complex sequence of symbols and numbers, a communication encryption key that had been standard for all Earth vessels before the war. The elders leaned forward, eyes wide with recognition. Sarah traced the pattern with her finger. "It is as our records said. The sequence contains the safe channels that lead to Earth." Ash's suspicion softened. If Earth survived, why return now? Why wake us from our hiding after so long? "Because the Concordat grows weak," Elena explained. "Their member species have begun to fracture along ideological lines. Resistance movements have appeared throughout their territory. The time is right to reunite humanity and reclaim our place among the stars." "You speak of war," Asha said. "I speak of justice," Elena corrected. "For all humans living under Concordat oppression." Elias approached the Earth hologram, studying it with wonder. Our oldest stories say Earth had vast oceans and blue skies. I always thought they were just myths. They're real, Dr. Mehta told him. And if we succeed, you might see them for yourself someday. As night fell, the settlement's council gathered to vote on Alina's proposal of alliance. The debate was heated, with many fearing Concordat reprisal if they joined Earth's cause. We have survived here for generations, one elder argued. Why risk everything for a homeworld we've never known? Because we are human, Elias countered. And humans help each other. In space above the planet, aboard the empirical mandate, Vexilla compiled her findings into a secure file. The energy signatures she detected matched no known technology in the Concordat database, but they did match theoretical patterns predicted for ancient human propulsion systems. Computer, Vexilla said, her 4 eyes blinking in sequence as she considered the implications. Cross-reference these signatures with historical records of human starship designs. Match found. The computer replied. Probability of human origin, 97.3%. Vexilla stared at the data in disbelief. Humans were supposed to be extinct, eliminated centuries ago when their homeworld was destroyed, if they had somehow survived. Her superior officer entered the lab. Any progress on those anomalies, researcher? Vexilla hesitated, then closed the file. Nothing conclusive. Likely just background radiation from the nebula. Continue your analysis, her superior ordered before leaving. Vexilla reopened the file and began encrypting it. The truth was far more complex than her people had been led to believe. For centuries, the Concordat had maintained that humans were a dangerous, expansionist species that had been neutralized for the greater good of the galaxy. What if that narrative was false? Back on the planet's surface, Alina stood under alien stars with Asha. The council has voted, Asha told her. We will join your alliance. Thank you, Alina said. Your people will be vital to our cause. You understand the modern galaxy in ways we don't. Asha looked up at the stars. Our ancestors always told us to watch the skies, that someday the Guardians would return. I never truly believed it until today. Alina placed a hand on her shoulder. You're not alone anymore. None of us are. As they spoke, the Artemis received a transmission from another awakened Earth ship. More vessels were coming online. The sleeping fleet was gathering, and soon the Concordat would learn that humanity's story was far from over. A fire rekindled. The Earth fleet gathered in the shadow of a dense nebula. 27 ships representing humanity's greatest technological achievements. Each vessel had awakened with specialized capabilities that had evolved during their long dormancy. Captain Rafael Torres of the science vessel Prometheus presented his findings to the assembled commanders. The Concordat has expanded to control 73% of known space, but their dominance is weakening. 6 outer systems have already broken away, declaring independence. Elena studied the tactical display and the human labor colony on Mira IV. Under direct Concordat control, Lieutenant Commander Chen confirmed. Approximately 5,000 human descendants, treated as little more than slaves in their antimatter refineries. Captain Liana Kwan of the stealth vessel Shadowdancer leaned forward. My ship can bypass their detection grid. We could extract the colonists before the Concordat realizes we exist. It would reveal our presence, warned Captain Marcus Williams from the heavily armed Thunderbolt. Helena considered their options. Sometimes a ghost must make noise to be remembered. Prepare your ships. We'd bring our people home. 3 days later, as the Concordat garrison on Mira IV burned and 5,000 liberated humans boarded Earth vessels, the message spread across subspace channels. The ghosts of Earth had returned. The command deck of the Artemis hummed with energy as Alina reviewed the final mission reports. 7 ships had coordinated the rescue operation flawlessly. The Shadowdancer had led using its advanced stealth systems to infiltrate Mira IV undetected. The Thunderbolt had provided cover when needed. The medical ship Mercy cared for the rescued colonists. Show me the Concordat response, Alina ordered. Maya brought up the latest intelligence. They've heightened alert status across 17 sectors. Patrol frequency has doubled near all known human settlements. And the defector? Elena asked. Ready to speak with you, Sophia replied. The Artemis had intercepted a Concordat escape pod during the Mira IV operation, not to destroy it, but to rescue its sole occupant. Vexilla had abandoned her position and flowed with research that would have seen her executed for treason. Now the four-eyed alien researcher sat uncomfortably in the conference room of the Artemis. Her pale blue skin was almost white from stress as she looked at the humans surrounding her. She had never been this close to so many humans before. Why did you risk your life to bring us this information? Elena asked. Vexilla's translator converted her melodic language into human speech. Because the truth matters. My entire career I studied galactic history. The official Concordat records never made logical sense. Why would an interstellar alliance fear a species that had barely left their own solar system? She activated a small data device. Images floated in the air, ancient Concordat documents that had been classified for centuries. These are the original prediction models, Vexilla explained, created by the Founding Council over 400 years ago. They show humanity's potential development curve compared to other species. The graph showed lines representing different species, most plateaued after a few centuries. The human line kept climbing. The Concordat was founded by 7 dominant species as a way to maintain their power, Vexilla continued. When they discovered Earth, their predictive models showed that humans would eventually surpass them all. Rather than risk their position, they chose to eliminate the competition. But they failed, Asha said from her position as representative of the Bernard's Star colony. Yes, Vexilla agreed. And now the lie is becoming harder to maintain. Younger Concordat generations question why we still consider humans enemies. Many of us have studied your art, your literature, your philosophy, smuggled from surviving colonies. We see value where our ancestors saw only threat. Elena turned to the other commanders. This changes our approach. Captain Williams frowned. How? They still tried to destroy us. But not all of them, Elena replied. According to Vexilla, the Concordat is divided. We can use that. Later, alone on the bridge, Elena accessed the sealed mission files that had been locked since before her long sleep. The computer required her DNA and voice print to unlock the highest level directives. Access granted, said ARIA, displaying Operation Renaissance. The screen filled with information. Elena read quickly, her eyes widening as she understood the full scope of Earth's plan. They knew, she whispered. They knew the Concordat would eventually fragment. The protocol outlined a complex strategy for humanity's return to galactic society, not as conquerors seeking revenge, but as mediators offering a new path forward. The sleeping fleet was never meant to be a weapon of war, but a tool for diplomatic leverage. Elena called an emergency meeting of all ship commanders. They gathered virtually, their holograms filling the Artemis's conference room. I know many of you expected to wake for war, Elena began. I did too. But our true mission is more complex and more worthy of humanity's best qualities. She explained Operation Renaissance. Some commanders objected, arguing that the Concordat deserved to be punished for their crimes against humanity. They tried to wipe us out, Captain Williams said angrily. Why should we offer peace? Because war will only create more hatred, Elena replied. Our ancestors understood this. They gave us the tools for war, but the directive for peace. Asha supported Elena. My people have lived under Concordat's shadow for generations. We've seen their cruelty, but also their capacity for change. Many younger Concordat members secretly help human colonies. The Concordat High Council is divided, Vexilla added. The old guard wants to maintain power at any cost, but many regional governors seek reform. If you offered them an alternative to the current system, Elena nodded. That's exactly what we'll do. 3 weeks later, the Earth fleet made its move, not against a military target, but a diplomatic one. The Artemis and 3 other vessels decloaked directly above Harmonious Exchange, the Concordat's neutral trading hub and diplomatic center. The appearance of the supposedly extinct human ships caused immediate panic. Concordat vessels moved to intercept, weapons charging. Elena opened a channel to all ships and the station itself. "This is Commander Elena Reyes of Earth Fleet. We come not for war, but for truth. For 4 centuries, the Concordat has maintained the lie that humanity was destroyed. That lie ends today." She transmitted the evidence Vexella had provided, proof that the attack on Earth had been motivated not by defense, but by fear of human potential. To the people of the Concordat, we offer a choice. Continue following leaders who built their power on deception, or join us in creating a new compact, one based on cooperation rather than domination. The Artemis's sensors detected numerous Concordat vessels powering down their weapons. Others maintained battle stance. "The Renaissance Protocol activates now," Elena continued. "For the next 7 days, Earth Fleet will remain at these coordinates. We invite representatives from all Concordat worlds to meet with us. Those who wish to continue the policies of the past should come prepared for honest dialogue. Those who seek a new path should come ready to build it with us." On the bridge of the Artemis, Elena watched as the first shuttle departed from Harmonious Exchange, heading toward her ship. It bore the markings of 3 different Concordat species. "It's working," Sophia said, disbelief in her voice. "Humanity's greatest strength was never our technology or our resilience," Elena replied. "It was our ability to imagine a better future and then create it." Across known space, the message spread. The humans had returned, not as vengeful ghosts, but as architects of a new order. The sleeping fleet had awakened not to end the Concordat, but to transform it from within. As the shuttle docked with the Artemis, Elena straightened her uniform and prepared to meet the first delegation. "RIA," she said quietly, "record this moment for Earth. Tell them their children have returned. And we've brought new friends." The future that awaited would not be easy. Centuries of hatred and fear would not dissolve overnight. But as humans from across the stars reunited and joined with enlightened members of the Concordat, Elena knew that the sleeping fleet had fulfilled its true purpose. Not to win a war, but to create the possibility of lasting peace. For the first time in 400 years, humanity would step out from the shadows, not as victims or conquerors, but as equals ready to take their place among the stars.